Welcome back to Good Game Reviews. Here to do another game review for Patriots at Jets, Monday night, Week 7. Final score, 33-0. Patriots win. I remember I made a prediction that said that the Patriots and the Jets were going to pretty much have kind of a back and forth thing, and the Patriots were going to win by like a narrow victory. And I was pretty much basing that off of what had happened last week, but I couldn't have been any more wrong. This was a beating. If you want to call it a beating, you can call it a massacre or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, this was not as good of a game as I had predicted it to be. But a win is a win. Funny saying that, even though coming off of a 33-0 blowout, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the goods and the bads like I usually do. Starting out with the good, Tom Brady. Now, to be honest, I don't even know why I put Tom Brady on here as far as the good. I would say pretty much based on the completions and attempts, 31 for 45. Not bad at all. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty much what you would call having a good night. But really only 249 yards passing, only one touchdown. Also had the interception. Granted, his hand was hit, while he was throwing the ball, and ball kind of goes in the air like it does when your arm gets hit, and Tremaine came down with it, had got the interception, so kind of messed with the ratings. Also, he walked out of here with a pass rating of 80.7. I would love to see what they have as the QBR rating. Or QBR or whatever. But yeah, right now I'm just looking at the passer rating, so it's 80.7. So yeah. As far as rushing goes, I put Sony Michel and Julian Edelman on here. Mostly Julian Edelman because of what he was able to average on the ground on 3 attempts, 20 yards. I put Sony Michel on here not because of the yardage and not because of the average, because I mean both are kind of poor. Having 19 attempts and only having 42 yards and averaging 2.2 yards per carry. Not pretty good, but I will give him this. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground. If that is something you want to see from Sony Michel, congratulations, because I think we've been waiting to see something like this, all season. We haven't seen him have 3 touchdowns since the Chargers game in the divisional round last year. So yeah, I mean, well, not last year, but in the postseason. But yeah, I haven't seen him have a game like that as far as rushing touchdowns, and it was good to see that. Receiving. This one's a little. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Again, you see how many yards Brady threw for, and I mean, you're wondering who could possibly be like the highlight as far as like the receiving. Well, I have 3 names on here. Actually, 4 names on here. I got James White. I got Julian Edelman. I got Jacoby Myers. I got Philip Dorsett, which I was glad to see him back in this game. I was really glad to see that he was active tonight, and for good reason. James White had 8 targets. Julian Edelman had 12 targets. Jacoby Myers had 5 targets, and Philip Dorsett had 4 targets. First, I want to start with James White. He's kind of like the security blanket, so usually, Brady's going to be dependent on him a lot whenever he's in the game. He has 7 receptions on those 8 targets, 59 yards. He led the team in receiving yards. So, I mean, nothing too surprising there. Average 8.4. Julian Edelman, 12 targets, but he only pulled in 7. Had a chance for 8, but he had dropped a pass that would have put the Patriots in field goal range. So, I mean, there's that. He had 47 yards on the game. Um, and then you have Jacoby Myers. Now, I really want to highlight Jacoby Myers, not because he was like the most exceptional on here. I mean, granted, he did have 5 targets and he caught all of those passes, and he, got as many yards as Julian Edelman got, and he had a higher, average than Julian Edelman. Um, I want to highlight Jacoby Myers because of how he stepped up. You have Josh Gordon now, and you're wondering what will Jacoby Myers be able to do coming into this game, expecting to see a lot more time on the field. What is really going to be the production that he's going to give you? And I saw at least like 3 really good grabs in that game, especially the one where he kind of just stretched out for it and got the first down. Well, not the first down. It was actually a third down after he made the catch. It was only 2 more yards to go. But just the way he stretched out to make that grab, it was something else. So I believe I said this at the beginning of the preseason. Well, probably like after the preseason had concluded, and I was talking about, Jacoby Myers not only being able to make the roster, but being able to get into the starting lineup. Granted, that was because of injury, but he still made it into the starting lineup, and he is now producing, and he's showing why he was such a standout during the preseason. So it's great to see him perform at such a level, and hopefully we can get more games like this and even better games out of Jacoby Myers looking down in the future. Philip Dorsett, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 46 yards, and the only touchdown, receiving the only touchdown that Tom Brady threw. Beautiful catch, beautiful throw. Everything about it was, just amazing. So, yeah, it was really good to have him back in this game. Really good to have him back in this game. Defense. Now, you can't have a review. At least not this season. You can't have a review without discussing the Patriots defense. Kyle Van Noy, he had led, the team in tackles. 5 just tackles overall. 3 assists. He didn't have any sacks. Didn't force any fumbles. Didn't pick off any balls. But he did have the fumble recovery, which I thought he returned. But apparently, he got his foot touched. So, I mean, they called back that touchdown, which would have been great if it wasn't called back. But whatever. McCourty. McCourty, man. I still think he has a chance to lead the league in interceptions. I really do. I still think he has a chance to do it. And he was able to get a pick in this game. So now he's up to 5 interceptions over the course of 7 games, which is pretty dope. So I'll be looking for him to make more plays like this. Also, another guy with a pick, Terrence Brooks. We had a Terrence Brooks sighting. He grabbed a ball that was like poorly thrown by Sam Darnold, and was able to get his hand on the end zone, and it was no. They said that he had landed on the 1-yard line. I thought he had landed in the end zone, but they put the Patriots on the 1-yard line. So, I mean, what can you do? John Simon, as far as John Simon goes, he was the only one who had a sack in here, and he was also the guy who forced the fumble that Kyle Van Noy was able to recover. So, pretty cool game for John Simon out there. He's been making plays like nobody's business, man. No wonder the Patriots had decided to keep him on and extend him for a little while. So, hey, Patriots know what they're doing. So you can't really argue with Belichick. Also, I wanted to shout out Stephen Gilmore. He was able to get him. He was able to get him a interception in this game too. So now he's up to 3. I mean, you want to talk about just plays after plays, 4 interceptions on the game. I said Devin McCourty. I said Terrence Brooks. I said Stephon Gilmore. There was one more Patriot who got an interception. Deron Harmon. Deron Harmon, you know him, the closer. He got him an interception. So yeah, just overall a good game. Just really overall a good game from everybody. Yeah, man, it's a mouthful. On to the special teams. Got to give the special teams love because that's where you get that's where you get a lot of your good field position and stuff like that. Well, let's go ahead and just start with Mike Nugent. Mike Nugent, he's been pretty decent to me. He's been pretty decent to me. Nothing spectacular, but he did make all his field goals, all of one of them. He only had to kick for one, but he did make it, and it did look good. And he made all his extra points. He had 4 extra points he had to make. He made them all. So that's what I like to see that too. I like to see extra points being made. Every point to me counts, even if it's just one. I think it all counts. Punting, Jake Bailey had him a very nice game, in my opinion. Just looking at the stats, 7 total punts, averaged 35.3, net of 245, had a long of 59, and had 4 in the 20. A nice, actually 2 nice punts that landed behind the 5. No, it was one behind the 5, and another one was it landed on the 13-yard line, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, he had a pretty good game as far as like his kicking the ball. I mean, what more can you really ask for this dude? He's doing kickoffs too. So, I mean, really, Jay Bailey. As far as the bad goes, not really a lot of bad to take out of a 33-0 win, but with every game you're gonna have some good and you're gonna have some bads. No such thing as like a truly perfect game. There's always something to take away. There's always something to learn from, and there's always some things to improve on. And the Patriots talk about that a lot. This first thing is not really much something to improve on. It's just something that just happened. It was a little unfortunate. Sonny Michel went down with an injury. It appeared to be a leg injury, but he seemed to hop up after a while of being on the ground and actually jogged off to the sideline. So he didn't walk off, on his own power. He jogged off on his own, on his own power. So, yeah. I don't expect it. I'm pretty sure they're going to give some updates on it, but I don't really expect it to be anything serious considering that he jogged off, on his own power, and it was a leg injury. So apparently it wasn't, too much. I think like one of the players had landed on his leg, and when those big guys, they land on you. I mean, you're gonna feel something somewhere. So yeah. 7 penalties on the day. Yeah, not pretty good. I know a few of those were meh. 3 of those actually came upon J.C. Jackson, one of the Patriots cornerbacks. We know he's a real physical guy. He likes to get in there, kind of like Stephon Gilmore. They're playing a lot of man, so you can expect a lot of those calls to be made. You don't want those calls to be made though. But yeah, he was getting in there pretty, handsy. But that's just the way he plays. He's just a physical guy, and I mean, I wasn't really too, upset about something like that, because you know what to expect from J.C. Jackson. He's a good cornerback, and the refs can be a little flag happy sometimes, so it's whatever. And the last thing I really wanted to get on was the pressure that Brady's been seeing. This is something that the Patriots are going to end up fixing anyway once they get the necessary guys in. But as far as the pressure, there was times where he just had no time to throw. And one of those times you end up making him, throw an interception. So just like no time to throw. Um, Speaking of people having no time to throw, Sam Darnold had no time to throw in this game. This isn't really a bad thing that I'm like touching on as far as the Patriots. This is just something just that was looking bad as far as like what Sam Darnold was going through. I mean, the the defense was literally, and I quote Sam Darnold himself. He said, "I'm seeing ghosts." He said, "I'm seeing ghosts." Now, if that's not a defense that scares you, I don't know what is. I really don't know what is. He didn't say that um, about Cleveland. He didn't say I was seeing ghosts when they were playing Cleveland. He didn't say I was seeing ghosts when they was playing the Cowboys. He said that against the Patriots. He said I was seeing ghosts. I don't even know why they had him mic'd up. Why they have Sam Darnold mic'd up? They could have chosen any of the other players to mic up. They could. I thought they would at least try to get Julian Edelman on the mic, on the Monday night mic. But they got Sam Darnold on the mic, and Mike wasted. I mean, well, at least not for that one, because that was pretty much gold. That man, I'm seeing ghosts. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was pretty much the game. Patriots victory, 33-0. Patriots move on to 7-0. Just move on to 1-5. Who cares? Nah. Next matchup, Patriots at home. They're going to be seeing the Browns. Really been waiting on that matchup. I've been waiting on that matchup since the schedule came out. So yeah, that should be a better game. Can't wait to see that one. But yeah, man, seeing ghosts. I'm dead. Till next time, I'm out.